এটা একটা মঙ্গলসূচক ধ্বনি।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi to depart on one-day visit to Saudi Arabia. PM Modi to address Third Future Investment Initiative Forum. India takes up matter of Pakistan's denial of airspace clearance for VVIP special flight. With the concerned international civil aviation body asked Pakistan to reflect upon its decision to deviate from established international practice. Activities related to government formation pick up pace in Maharashtra. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Shiv Sena leader Diwakar Raute meet Maharashtra governor separately at Raj Bhavan. World Bank President David Mopar says India's goal of becoming $5 trillion economy is achievable. With strong economic reform, says for the third year in a row, India has featured amongst the top 10 reformers in the world. Air quality in national capital Delhi drops to season's worst on the morning after Diwali. Still better than the last 3 years, city's overall air quality index stands at 345 worst this season. Mumbai and Kolkata breathe easy as air quality index in these two cities stands under 200. US President Donald Trump announces killing of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in raid in northwest Syria. Britain, France, Israel and Turkey support US operation and urge to continue fight against terror. In badminton, Indian duo of Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty suffer an 18-21, 16-21 loss in the hands of top-seeded Indonesian pair of Kevin Sukamuljo and Marcus Fernaldi in the finals of the French Open. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukmaina. Top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a day-long visit to Saudi Arabia today. The Prime Minister will deliver the keynote address at the third session of the Future Investment Initiative (FII) Forum in Riyadh. The FII is also known as the Davos of the desert. India and Saudi Arabia are likely to sign 12 agreements in key areas like civil aviation, defense procurement, security cooperation, renewable energy sector during the visit. But most importantly, an MOU is likely to be signed to establish the Strategic Partnership Council for both the countries. Energy security has been the main area of India's engagement with Saudi Arabia. India is on its way to transforming the buyer-seller relationship in this sector into a much larger strategic partnership. The visit is expected to further cement the strategic ties between the two countries. Prime Minister Modi is visiting the Saudi Kingdom on the invitation of King Salman and will hold bilateral talks with him during the visit. And ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Saudi Arabia, our correspondent Kanchan Prasad had an exclusive conversation with Indian Ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Asaf Saeed.
How would you like to define the bilateral relationship of the two countries as of now?
The last 1 decade or so, and more so in the last 4 to 5 years, the two countries decided and consciously moved away from this buyer-seller relationship, and then decided to and agreed to rather that both should form the strategic partnership. And this encompasses wide areas, not just necessarily the oil, but then areas like security cooperation, defense, investments and agriculture and so on and so forth.
Sir, I believe during the upcoming visit, the Strategic Partnership Council, an MOU regarding that is going to be signed. So would you like to tell us about some contours about this council which is going to come?
Yeah. See, if you ask me, this would be the biggest deliverable of the current visit of our Honorable Prime Minister to Saudi Arabia. The idea of the Strategic Partnership Council emerged during the Crown Prince visit, to India, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in February to India. This council will be the highest bilateral mechanism which would be existing between the two countries. It would be headed on the Indian side by our Prime Minister and on the Saudi side by the Crown Prince. And it would have two parallel verticals. One vertical would be on the political and security cooperation. This would be headed by the foreign ministers of both countries. Then there is another vertical which will be on economy and investments, which would be headed from our side by our CIM, Commerce and Industry Minister, and on the Saudi side by their Minister of Energy.
So would you like to say some more MOUs, tell us about some more MOUs which are there to be...
There are 12 agreements being signed, and apart from the strategic partnership agreement, there is an important agreement on the security cooperation. There is an agreement on defense for defense procurement, defense industries. There is an agreement on renewable energy. We are going to launch the Rupee Gateway, in Saudi Arabia, which would definitely help the huge Indian diaspora of 2.6 million, and also the Indian tourists and pilgrims, Hajj and Umrah pilgrims will come. On the workforce side, the integration of the e-Tawtiq with e-Migrate, which was again discussed in February this year, has been completed. So that will also be launched. There will be several G2B and B2B agreements which will be also be signed on the sidelines of the visit.
From Strategic Partnership Council to Defense Cooperation to Security Cooperation, launch of RuPay card, there is a lot on the platter when Prime Minister Modi visits Saudi Arabia. With cameraman Ankur, Rajesh Raj, Bimalendu, this is Kanchan Prasad.
And India has taken up Pakistan's denial of the use of its airspace to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's flight with the International Civil Aviation Organization, government sources said. I quote, "We regret the decision of the government of Pakistan to yet again deny overflight clearance for the VVIP special flight, which is otherwise granted routinely by any normal country. Overflight clearances are sought and granted by other countries as per prescribed ICAO guidelines, and India will continue to seek such overflight clearances. Separately, we have taken up the matter of such denial with the relevant international civil aviation body. Pakistan should reflect upon its decision to deviate from well-established international practice, as well as reconsider its old habit of misrepresenting the reasons for taking unilateral action," unquote. The Maharashtra's Chief Minister incumbent Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis today met State Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari in Mumbai. The meeting was aimed at extending Diwali greetings to the governor. Raj Bhavan PRO said that there will not be any political discussion on the formation of the next government in the state. And in Maharashtra, several rounds of meetings have already taken place to finalize the contours of government formation in the state. The BJP Shiv Sena alliance has an absolute majority in the state assembly. BJP has 105 MLAs, Shiv Sena has 56. The Shiv Sena fought the assembly elections in Maharashtra in alliance with the BJP. BJP will hold a meeting of newly elected MLAs on the 30th of October and decide thereafter. World Bank President David Malpass today said that the goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy is achievable with strong economic reforms. While addressing the inaugural session of Arambh at the tent city in Kevadia in Gujarat, the World Bank President said that for the third year in a row, India was amongst the top 10 reformers. Besides, he also said that India's growth will depend on the productivity and livability of its cities. The program Arambh is the first of its kind common foundation course for Civil Services of India 2019 batch.
The goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2025 is both worthy and achievable with strong economic reforms. Making India's economic hopes a reality will require patience, persistence, and lots of energy from you and your colleagues. For the third year in a row, India was among the top 10 reformers, in part due to regulatory changes to improve the civil service delivery. The World Bank Group is committed to working with India to put in place well-designed reforms that help India in its development journey and enable broad-based growth.
And the World Bank president also said that the Indian civil servants are some of the most talented people in the country. He further added that as civil servants, they have a dual responsibility of compliance and service delivery.
The Indian civil service employs some of the most talented people in this country. It played a leading role in the nation's poverty reduction efforts by implementing policies that improved the livelihoods of millions of people. As civil servants, you have a dual responsibility of both compliance and service delivery. You are uniquely positioned to play a role in lifting more than 170 million people out of poverty into prosperity.
The World Bank president also said that Mahatma Gandhi's vision of peace, tolerance and humanity remain an inspiration to the world.
Gandhi's vision of peace, tolerance and modesty remain an inspiration to the world. It's a fitting vision to keep in mind as India aims even higher. It's one of the most diverse countries on earth and the biggest democracy by far.
Pakistan should reflect upon its decision to deviate from well-established international practice as well as reconsider its old habit of misrepresenting the reasons for taking unilateral action. An MEA statement said this is regarding Pakistan's refusal to grant overflight permission to a VVIP flight over its airspace. And the national capital's air quality index dropped to the season's worst on the morning after Diwali, that's today, but the situation was still better than the past 3 years, according to government agencies. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, the city's overall air quality index stood at 345, the worst this season. At 10:30 a.m. today, it was 337 at 4 p.m. yesterday. The government's air quality monitor, Safar, had earlier predicted that Delhi's overall air quality index would enter the severe category between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. on Monday, primarily due to firecracker emissions, unfavorable weather and a significant spike in stubble burning. With Delhi's air quality plummeting to dangerous levels around Diwali every year, the Supreme Court in 2018 had banned polluting firecrackers and ordered that only green firecrackers, said to cause 30% less pollution, can be manufactured and sold. And as Diwali gets over, pollution caused due to firecrackers is yet to go away. However, in Mumbai, the situation is not as intense as in Delhi. Air quality, however, witnessed a marginal spike in pollution levels. On Diwali night, locals in the city breathed easy this year, with major pollutants PM 2.5 and PM 10 docking at 32 and 43 respectively. In Haji Ali area, for example, levels which come in the good category as per the Air Quality Index data. The Central Vigilance Commission is observing Vigilance Awareness Week from today onwards till the 2nd of November. The theme is Integrity, a Way of Life. This is observed every year during the week in which the birthday of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel falls, that is on the 31st of October. The Vigilance Awareness Week observed by the Central Vigilance Commission affirms its commitment towards promotion of integrity and probity in public life through citizen participation. Central Vigilance Commissioner Sharad Kumar outlined the various outreach and media campaigns are being organized by the Commission to create awareness among the public.
The Vigilance Awareness Week, observed each year by the Central Vigilance Commission, affirms its commitment to promotion of integrity and probity in public life through citizen participation. Integrity, a way of life, have been chosen as the theme for the Vigilance Awareness Week this year by the Commission. Integrity and ethics form the foundational pillars of a nation, and national development takes place when individuals and organizations are committed to integrity as a core value. Combating corruption is not just a matter of making laws and creating institutions, but it is deeply rooted in human values and morals of individuals. Cultivating ethical values is essential for building a new India. The Commission believes that this theme would help draw the attention of all sections of society, especially the youth, of significance of ethical conduct in building of an honest, non-discriminatory and corruption-free society. Various outreach activities and media campaigns are organized to create awareness of the importance of integrity and the ill effects of corruption in our national life. Integrity pledges are taken at public functions, banners, posters, etc. are displayed at prime locations, marathons, bicycle and public rallies, human chains and street theatre performance are held at public places all across the country. Seminars, debates, lectures and competitions are organized in towns and cities across the country. Integrity clubs are formed in schools and colleges as part of this campaign for the inculcation of ethical values among the youth. Specific awareness campaigns are conducted in the village gram sabhas, towns and cities, and for youth studying in schools and colleges across the country. The Commission's initiative like taking a voluntary integrity pledge, integrity clubs in schools and colleges, mass awareness campaigns are efforts to motivate people to observe ethical behavior in everyday life. The Commission appeals to all to inculcate integrity as a way of life for the realization of the full potential of the individual and the progress of the nation.
And Vigilance Awareness Week 2019 is being observed throughout the country from October 28th to November 2nd with the theme Integrity of Way of Life. As a part of it, Indian Oil Corporation Limited is holding various awareness programs to combat corruption. Let's take a look at this report.
Vigilance Awareness Week is observed every year to encourage all to participate in the fight against corruption. Indian Oil Corporation Limited will also observe the Vigilance Awareness Week 2019 from the 28th of October till 2nd of November on the theme Integrity, a Way of Life.
हम पिछले कई सालों से IUCL में इस पूरे सप्ताह को इस उद्देश्य के साथ कि हम कैसे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों तक ये संदेश पहुंचा सकें कि भ्रष्टाचार रूपी जो एक मीनेस है उसको कैसे कम किया जा सकता है.
Various programs will be held during the Vigilance Awareness Week to create awareness about fighting corruption. Indian Oil will reach out to students, gram sabhas and the public at large through administering Integrity Pledge. Nukkad Nataks would be conducted at public places like bus stands, railway stations to create awareness. Debates, quiz competitions, essay writing competitions, slogan writing will also be organized across various schools and colleges.
हम नागरिकों से, कर्मचारियों से, अधिकारियों से ये अनुरोध करते हैं कि वो ऑनलाइन इंटीग्रिटी प्लेज लें और ये जीवन में अपना सूत्र बनाएं कि हम इंटीग्रिटी के साथ अपना जीवन जिएंगे. दूसरा, जैसे मैंने बताया कि पेंटिंग कंपटीशन, ऐसे कंपटीशन, क्विज कंपटीशन, एलोक्यूशंस, सेमिनार्स, वर्कशॉप और ये सब हमारा डिफरेंट टारगेट ग्रुप रहता है.
Last year, Indian Oil Corporation backed the Vigilance Excellence Awards for producing 8 short films which were viewed widely and for organizing outreach programs on vigilance awareness. No campaign to fight and eradicate corruption can be achieved without community participation. It is therefore necessary to motivate citizens as stakeholders in nation building. Bureau Report, DD News.
Ayushman Bharat scheme run by the central government is proving to be a boon for crores in the country. After the implementation of Ayushman Bharat Yojana, even those deprived of proper medical care for years are getting free treatment in hospitals. Let's take a look at this ground report from Raisen in Madhya Pradesh.
The Ayushman Bharat scheme has provided much needed relief to crores of poor and deprived people of India. People of Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh who were unable to get treatment for serious diseases due to financial constraints are now able to get medical treatment free of cost under the scheme. Raghuveer Rakwal, a resident of Raisen, says that he suffered heart attack and the cost of treatment in a private hospital was very high. Under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, he got treatment free of cost.
मेरा इलाज काफ़ी महंगा था और उस दौरान मुझे पता चला कि आयुष्मान कार्ड द्वारा मेरा इलाज हो सकता है, तो मैंने आयुष्मान कार्ड बनवाया मेरा और मेरा इलाज हुआ, क्योंकि मेरा इलाज करीबन 1,55,000 रुपये 1.5 लाख के समथिंग था, उससे हुआ है और आज मैं संतुष्ट हूँ.
Meena, Raghuveer's wife, says that her husband has got a new lease of life from the Ayushman Bharat scheme. She's thanked the Prime Minister for this initiative.
मेरे मिस्टर के सीने में दर्द था, इनको मैं विदिशा उपचार के लिए ले गई थी, वहाँ पे इनको अचानक अटैक आ गया, वहाँ से इनको भोपाल रेफर किया गया, उधर से बोला गया कि आपका खर्च ज़्यादा आएगा, आप नहीं कर पाएंगी, आयुष्मान कार्ड द्वारा आप इलाज करवाना. हमने वहाँ पे तुरंत में आयुष्मान कार्ड बनवाया, फिर इनको भोपाल ले गए, उससे इनका 1.5 लाख के करीब इलाज हुआ. अब ये ठीक हैं. मैं भारत सरकार की इस योजना से बहुत संतुष्ट हूँ और मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ. हम जैसे गरीब परिवारों को इससे मदद मिलती है.
Ayushman Bharat scheme has provided better medical treatment, especially to the rural poor who could not afford treatment in private hospitals. This scheme has proved to be a boon for such people. Bureau Report, DD News.
And Chief of Army Staff General Bipin Rawat, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh and Chief of Air Staff Chief Marshal RKS Bhadoria today called on Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh at his office in New Delhi. Dreaded terrorist group Islamic State of Iraq and Syria ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed in a secret U.S. Special Forces raid in northwest Syria. This was confirmed by U.S. President Donald Trump yesterday. Leaders of Iraq, Turkey, UK and Israel have reacted positively to the news of the killing of Islamic State of Iraq and Syria chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. On the other hand, Iran has warned that this was not the end of the Islamic State group. Iranian Information Minister Mohammad Javad Azari Jahromi tweeted in response to Trump's post, I quote, "Not a big deal, you just killed your creature," accusing Iran's longtime foe United States of creating Islamic State. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Twitter, the killing of Daesh's ringleader marks a turning point in our joint fight against terrorism. Turkey will continue to support anti-terror efforts as it has done in the past. I am confident that a decisive struggle against terrorism in line with the spirit of alliance will bring peace to all of humanity. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, the death of Baghdadi is an important moment in our fight against terror, but the battle against the evil of Daesh is not yet over. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu congratulated U.S. President Donald Trump. He said that this reflects the united resolve of the free countries, led by the United States to fight the forces of terror, terror organizations and the terrorist states. And now on to sports. In badminton, India's top men's doubles pair of Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty lost to world number 1 Marcus Fernaldi Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo in the finals of the French Open in Paris last night. The Indian duo settled for silver after losing the final 18-21, 16-21. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Stay tuned. Namaskar.